Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Okay, then let me see if I can get... There we go. Should be good to go now. Now, what we can do... So we'll do this, we'll do this. All right. I'll give everyone a second to filter in here. I just want to make sure. Oh, let me move this out of the way for the time being. All right. Give it another couple seconds. Check Discord. See. Can y'all hear me, by the way? Anyone who's actually watching? Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello. I think it should be good, because I hear myself. So, well, you know what? At this point, I'm going to get into it. Game 5, per Hooley's request, because I need to apparently watch this game in full, because it's absolutely absurd, which is already insane to say, because the Game 3 was insane.
Eager to lock in as C9's first two bands.
All right, Lisa's get ready for the roller coaster.
The Fly, which is always a stock standard band, and then the Sivir also banned out. That was banned out in a previous game.
Can you hear in-game audio, Lee, by chance? Let me see.
The set, this is another Bwipo special. It is one that many top laners do not have.
Okay, so you can
much
hear me.
practice
Can you
against
hear
out of the meta,
the audio
so we don't wanna
of
deal with
the
that.
game?
Exactly. So
do we even want to hear it?
Is, you know what? We're gonna ban 3 pocket picks. We're gonna ban 3.
Okay, okay. So let me just get the volume right then.
And on the other side, it is
All right, let's get into it then.
And the advantage for C9 is because
I like this set ban,
snatch up that Leona if
which is interesting because then you have the Gwen ban on the other side. I guess I just don't want to get volatile with it. Callista B1.
Go with Callista first pick.
Jhin hasn't been picked yet, which is also kind of insane. Okay. I think Jin's fine here. What tanks are taken away? Recta gone, Cyan's gone, Ars-ish tank, Cho'Gath is gone. You still got Ornn on the table, which is a little risky, and I don't know if you want to risk picking Jhin into Ornn later on, so maybe you don't pick the Jhin yet. What jungles do we have? I think it may be like a jungle support angle, in my opinion. Xin Zhao is gone. I'm trying to think what you want to play. Like what what champions do you want to play right here? I'm like about to go pull up League of Legends champions real quick. Oh, don't look at that. That's my email. We want over here. There we go. And then we full screen this. League of Legends champions. What can we pick here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. A Mumu would be something that I've seen Inspired play that would be very interesting, that I don't think a lot of people would be prepped for. Is there any like major meta champions that we'd want to play? I don't see Inspired doing Mundo. I mean, there's always the Fiddlesticks, but that's you could do Nunu, but I feel like Nunu's also a bit odd. Gragas is something I think you could see played. I don't think Graves is in the meta that's playable right now. Jarvan's not been picked. I don't really like Jarvan into Kalista though, so I don't think that's an option right there either. Here, just as I scroll through, y'all can see. Kayn could be interesting. Melda. I think what I'm kind of eyeballing is you go jungle support here into the Kalista. I think you keep it simple. Skarner's kind of out. Talon. Udyr. I'm gonna like a region. If y'all can't tell, my brain. Wait, has Vi even been played? Vi has not been. Oh, but Vi's banned though. Never mind. Okay. Vi has been played. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and I say you do something along the lines of, because I mean it's FlyQuest, right? You want to keep it fresh, you want to keep it spicy. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna do something like an Amumu, because it's very hard to team fight around, and at a game 5 you want to really just go with like nice comfort stuff. You want to team fight, and if you have a Amumu, it's very easy to team fight with. And then I'm gonna say you go with support, and what do you want to do with support? What has been picked? Do you want another engage? You don't really need engage if you're going to Mumu. I'm probably just overthinking a little bit. Let's just get into it because I have 55 minutes and then we got to start the stream soon. I'm gonna go with jungle support here. I think that's what you should probably do.
So there is a lot of power in that duo. You're kind of able to say, okay, great, you're going to go for Leona? Sure, you take Leona, we'll take Renata.
We want comfort and solo queue for this draft. Okay, so I'm kind of on the right mindset of like solo queue. Love that. If you can't tell, I'm on my work computer that doesn't have adblock.
Are you a person? Then you could be one of the 50
Are you a
million
person?
Americans living
I
with
love that.
DUB. In fact,
Okay.
So now it's time to find out what the answer will be from FlyQuest. Did they just throw down the Leona?
Caitlyn.
Or are they going to go for range?
Caitlyn Lux would be spicy, and I like it against the Kalista. It's very frustrating to play against. One binding, one trap, one net. Like, it's just GG for the Kalista.
Caitlyn Lux definitely an option on the table because, I mean, like you say, one of the answers to Kalista is traditionally just long range.
There's no way you go Nidalee here.
You don't allow her to take
Victor.
all-ins.
Ah, Victor. Okay, I like that. This is very zone heavy. Like, what I imagine here is you pick the Caitlyn, you pick the Victor, and you have just so much control over like these narrow like hallways in the jungle leading into the Dragon Pit, the Baron Pit, so on and so forth. It makes it so hard for Cloud9 to get in, especially a short range AD carry like Kalista. This is a great R1, R2. I love this so far.
Good area control champions here.
Hey, what's up, FlyQuest? So here comes the Jarvan from Blabber, which I don't really like for Blabber. I don't think it really does well, especially into a Caitlyn that can just net out of everything. It's kind of a rough pick. Renata also kind of expected to be seen with the Kalista, not very much of a surprise. I think it's a fine pick. Let's see what we follow this up with. I really feel like you picked jungle here.
With an aggressive jungler here, they want to push the tempo, they want to keep the action going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what you go jungle here. Amumu? I feel like Amumu's so good into Elite. No, that's a Busio Elise. There's no fucking way that Inspired plays this.
It could also be
That's a Busio Elise. I'm calling it now. That's a Busio Elise. That's a Busio Elise for sure. And it's so aggressive into the Kalista Renata. It has to be a Busio Elise.
But Elise definitely has a lot
It has
of
to be a
power.
Busio
He's
Elise.
super comfortable on it. I've seen him play it a ton in solo queue.
I mean, I could see Inspired playing it too, right? Like, he plays AP Champions just fine, but I mean, like, it has to be a Busio. Like, but the thing is, you wouldn't want Elise in the jungle when you have AP Victor mid. That has to be a Busio Elise.
But also,
Right?
roaming, especially to top lane, and that could be another way that FlyQuest want to keep Thanatos under control.
In a game 5, Lee, it's super ballsy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously, I have the power of hindsight, and I know that we win this. But yeah, I kind of get it. I'd be butt clenching. But also at the same time, there is reason to be picking this. Like, I can Caitlyn, Elise into Renata, Kalista. That is a horrible lane for the Kalista Renata, in my opinion. I also know the Elise at a certain point, though, is supposed to start roaming. But then you also have the range on Caitlyn, which makes it more bearable to not get, like, hunted down by the Kalista Renata. Like, you can really kind of 1v2 that lane if need be. So I really actually think it's okay. It's super coin flippy, though. So, Arya Kali bans, Skarner Lee Sin bans. What the hell are we jungling with, man?
Exactly, because they are red side, so they want to have the surprise.
Is this a Nunu angle or something?
Don't get baited. Don't get baited by the hover crowd. Hold it in. Hold it in.
No way. Ain't no way.
The caster's not believing it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Masu is a known troll, so I do not react to his hovers.
Yeah,
Well, we did react.
Kha'Zix?
This will be, you can see right there.
What the hell, man? This is looking like some BS from, like, my season 6, like, solo queue, like, back in Silver. Caitlyn, Victor, Elise, Kha'Zix, what?
But you're into a Renata. You have got to be so picture perfect with your
I don't know if I like this, because then the Kha'Zix has to play around the Renata so much, man. And okay, hold on. So, even then, just for a second, let's theorize this, right? You've built a comp so far that is so zone heavy. You have Caitlyn traps, you have Victor W, E, Q, Ultimate. Even to a certain extent, you have the Elise W in human form as well as the Cocoon. I mean, I guess if you're pairing it with the Kha'Zix, though, you can also have the Elise going for the dive potentially. This Elise is really, like, this game is so much on Busio. I feel like there's a lot of potential relying on Busio here. Like, if he's making picks with the Cocoon, if he's like diving with Inspired, like this could be an MVP level game from Busio. There's a lot of potential here for him. I'll be curious to see how he plays it out. I'm very nervous for this Kha'Zix pick, though, especially into a Renata. That's so hard to play around, man. And even then, a lot of this is kind of like, I don't know. Like, if you want to theorize how the team fight should play out, right? You have FlyQuest who are wanting to do this zone control team fight comps where it's like making sure Cloud9 can't get in. So a lot of times you're theorizing that Cloud9's kind of bunched up, which is really like counterintuitive to what the Kha'Zix wants to do. Kha'Zix wants to find isolated fights, wants to pick people off in the side lanes, wants to make sure like it's 1v4s and you're taking out the one guy. So unless Inspired is really going to be on top of like trying to pick off the one guy, trying to do the wraparound, like this giant zone potential of FlyQuest, I mean, I really am struggling to see what this Kha'Zix is going to do. But even then, like, as a jungler, you're having the expectation that you need to be on the objective. You're kind of in the group with everyone. So I'm nervous. Lee, another thing I'm actually curious about that I don't know the answer to is how the Kha'Zix isolation works with Kalista ult. Like, if Kalista ults Renata, is Kalista isolated? Oh. I feel like it should count as being isolated, but knowing League spaghetti code, I don't know. That's a great question, Lee. That's a really great question. Okay, sorry. Anyway, that's enough theorizing for the Kha'Zix. I don't know how I feel about that. Hui, kind of also zoning potential with. I don't know how I feel about that for Loki. You're taking like zoning potential versus zoning potential. FlyQuest has the better zoning potential. Alright, hear me out. I know this is kind of weird. But you have Renata and Kalista and Jarvan, which can all in some form or way do some decent peel. Hear me out. Why not Loki Xerath here? You're playing a team comp that's meant to zone everything. Why not just reach over the zone control and poke the crap out of them? That's so annoying. I think this is a great Xerath angle for Loki here, personally. That's just me, though.
Legitimately zero front line on the FlyQuest side. You're talking about the
Oh,
invading
Flowers makes a
set
great
piece,
point. There is zero
small
front line here.
skirmish
So
and
what are we doing
ambush
here,
type
Whippo?
of situations.
Something
And right
tanky?
now, that's about all they can play because they don't
Gragas
have
is
any
up.
way to
You can go
engage
tanky there, kind of.
or front
Or
line
Ornn?
full
Ornn?
5v5. On the other side,
Good
it's
catch
playing
potential.
mid lane for Loki, control mage answer to Victor,
Gragas?
and then
Okay.
for Thanatos, the K'Sante
Because Gragas kind of fits back into the whole,
Gragas is up and available. That would be some of that engagement.
yeah, okay.
This is a-
The Gragas makes sense here in a little bit like in the theme of the comp, right? Where it's like you're really trying to zone everyone out, and then if anyone gets in, you can really just scatter them everywhere. And it also helps a lot with the Kha'Zix, making sure everyone's separated and you can get some isolated picks going on. Man, you're not kidding though. This is straight solo queue. This is ballsy. This is coin flip beyond belief. This is gonna be a fun game. I can already tell. Also on the K'Sante line. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Cloud9's draft here. I don't like Cloud9's draft. What is Cloud9's draft supposed to do here? You have a very heavy mid-range bot lane jungle combination. You have this kind of poke control mid lane. Like, you can get some massive wombos off, I feel like. Just, I don't know how you deal with FlyQuest comp, though. Because of, like, all the zoning of Victor and Caitlyn. And even to a certain extent, Gragas. But at the same time, then you have issues on FlyQuest's side about how do they get onto Cloud. Okay, man, I'm just... Alright, then we're pausing. Let's just rip it. Let's go.
I just checked 5-1, excuse me, 4-1 all time. They are 4 inspired.
Let's go.
Does have here. Way ahead of the
Let's
city.
get into it.
They have the victory. They have so much zone in 30 seconds.
We're talking in particular. We saw playing for fatality of
All right.
being a pro player, and I want to see how well he bounces back in this.
So we got the classic 5v5 lineup.
And I want to see where is Busio going, because he started with a sweeper. That's what I like to see from Elise support. He is
Okay.
going to be getting into the brush early. You can see it already in bottom lane, always looking for brush advantage for your burst.
Do we want the...
combos, and
Oh,
maybe
also,
he'll
let
be
me do
able to
this.
Use that sweeper to get out of lane later.
You don't need to see Cloud9 members. You just need to see me. Yeah, there we go. Oh, my. Hopefully there's not too many ads in this. Sorry.
Did you guys know that Game 5 is the most important game of the series? That's crazy. I actually didn't know that. You know, great statistic, the team that wins Game 5 always wins the series. What? Yeah. No way.
Dumb.
That is
Dumb.
a crazy stat. He's not wrong.
My favorite part is Blabber's laugh, though.
So we got a jungle invade going from
We
Cloud9.
don't care.
And those
I'm assuming
that we're
Inspired is
talking
aware of it and
about
will probably
bot lane
just
and the jungle,
vertical
they
jungle down into
they're
Blabber's
splitting
blue
the
side
map.
jungle.
Splitting the map when you
Yeah,
have
you got a
that
ward on
jungle
him right
like
here,
this
so
is
Inspired
so
knows
critical.
it's not a
He's not gonna
problem.
do a full split. He just takes the blue and then out.
I want to watch bot side though.
Caitlyn's got early
Awesome.
shoved into
Use
tower,
that
which is
air.
good. That's exactly how it should go.
As fast as humanly possible, knowing that they could be coming behind them with this split map situation, so they bounce the wave super fast, so then they can back up and receive that bounce if there was a concern about Blabber coming, and I just think that's really smart stuff.
Yep, okay.
I like both of the kind of ideas. You know, the response there from FlyQuest, also the original idea from Cloud9, because Jarvan has so much.
Oh, man, what a
game
chunk for
potential that
Thanatos.
Kha'Zix.
Might have to flash.
Okay.
Oh, that is big.
So if you can take away some camps from Kha'Zix early and get Kha'Zix a little bit slower in scaling
Dang,
up,
Cloud9 is
this
1 in
late
5
game,
in finals
then
when
you
they're
can
not
create a
first
lot
seed.
better plays
That is
as
rough.
Jarvan, who has CC to pull up a lot of these ganks.
This is Cloud9's record in finals. As the first seed, they are 5-2. As any other seed, so second and below, they are 1-5. Of course, they are not coming in as the first seed this time around. So
Oh, interesting. Inspired did not
ever finals win
vertical
here
jungle.
as a number 2 seed or below.
I guess he just doesn't have support because Whippo's getting shoved in, so it's not something he can really go for, otherwise Thanatos punishes him, so I guess it's fair. That really sucks for him, though.
This game.
We got a lot of numbers that we're cranking out here as Thanatos has control over this top side wave. You can see a little bit more stats we got on the screen for you. In game 4 and 5 of a series, Zven has a 60% win rate, just about there, 59.3. Wait, isn't that? That's exactly 60. It's what?
It's only math on broadcast.
Our math on broadcast is going great right now.
You know what? I've had enough numbers anyway. We don't need any more numbers unless they are KD.
Okay. Quad is abusing Loki in lane. You love to see it.
Talking about these two working together, the Elise facilitating the Kha'Zix. When are we going to start to see that?
I mean, it's gonna have to be basically.
At what point does Busio start roaming is my question.
Do it really early, but usually you want to you call it unlocking the other person that is gonna go gank with you.
Gets a ward on Raptors, so that way he knows low timer on that.
You like kind of buy your time for Busio.
Whippo is just under tower, man. I wonder if Inspired just goes top to help him out here.
First thing, they got to shove up their lane.
Whippo's backing, so probably not.
And then give him an opening to go roam with.
Okay, Hui immediately getting a little bit of damage with the Baby Rumble ulti that he has on his Q as Quad arrives back into the mid lane. That is
so at this point, bot lane resets. I have to imagine Busio's level 3. He's got all of his skills. I have to imagine this is where he starts trying to go for. Oh!
There's a bit of a cocoon. Lots of.
Oh man! They baited me with that. Wow. Okay. I fully thought they were going for the back, the reset. Busio was low on mana. Masu was low on mana. They had 30 CS. Like, it's a perfect buy angle for Masu. I was not ready for that. That was great.
And they finish it. They get their first plus. Battle pass acquired.
There you go. And you could tell
Kill went to Busio, which, you know what, I think is actually fine, especially in the early game. Like, if you get the Elise ramping this early on, it's more than acceptable. But if there's no more kills coming his way, then it's actually a problem. But for the time being, it's fine. We're on track. We're doing good. Oh, I guess Whippo got his back interrupted. He's backing now. I teleport in, I imagine. Yep.
You were just 100-0ing carries.
Exactly.
There we go. So now you can see, look at, starting to roam with Inspired a little bit.
Resets from Fountain through the mid lane, and they're coming bottom. The double gank is here.
Collapse though. Flash, stun, cocoon. Oh, that's so nasty, man. 2 kills. Oh, it's so good. What did I say earlier? What did I say earlier in draft? What did I say earlier in draft? I said this is a game that has the potential for Busio to have an MVP level game. He's on track, man. He's on track.
Goes for the flash, hits a cocoon, and they get their lead. Let's see though.
I like this so far. I like this a lot.
Because it did start.
I will say Blabber's getting a lot more farm, but there's also an assist in favor of Inspired here, and I think he's had a lot more effect on lane so far. Whippo's just, I mean, Whippo's doing Whippo things, but it's got to be frustrating to play as sometimes. Mid lane's just completely even. Busio's just being absolutely obnoxious. See, now it's situations like this, though, where everyone's kind of grouped up for Cloud9. I'm like, how do Inspired and Busio want to play this? I feel like this is very hard for them to play. Yeah, Whippo is here to separate! Oh, I think you just gotta leave now. Quad's massively chunked. Whippo's massively chunked. I don't think you can fight this. Yeah. Okay. Are you still aiming?
For themselves. Vulcan goes for
just get out. Just get out.
Goes for the repel. Now a little bit of danger. Blabber flashing right back.
Oh, damn, Sven.
Got it. Busio is squashed as C9.
I think we hovered there too long. I think the moment the Whippo ultimate didn't really achieve anything, that's a just back off, you're done. It is what it is.
On Sven in that fight with the cocoon, but then couldn't find the angle to get a re-engage there. And Sven is able to get in and just barely finish him off. FlyQuest just kind of didn't have the resources to really fully commit to the play. You know,
by the way, just got a
he didn't have any
shirt number 2, baby.
On a double Ruby Crystal
bring it on.
Point, so great, he has the push, but he can't really do a lot with it.
Yeah, and then we're gonna see how it all
also, props to Loki here. I mean, he doesn't really do too much, but he really does chunk Quad out enough to make it to where it's not something he can collapse in on.
He knows
fair play.
He can play on the front because he has the cleanse.
Yeah, that Whippo ult's just, I mean, it was a good attempt. It is what it is, but you just, Cloud9's on the objective. That's the one, that is the one problem with this comp is, like, this whole comp is, like, you need to be on the objective first. You have to be the one defending the objective. If you're the one trying to get onto the objective, you're highly relying upon Whippo, in my opinion. In which case, I have all the faith in the world of Whippo to be able to do it. But that is a lot of responsibility off of a single ultimate to pull off of what you need to get done.
Kalista. The longtime Sven fans will remember OG Sven, Kalista main. Maybe I should say ancient fans nowadays, as it has been quite a while, but he was an absolute beast.
Yep, he definitely is. And these two dynamic duos, a lot of games spent together from Sven and
Combined
Vulcan,
age
who
in
are
years,
Vin.
that's so
They were
funny.
back on Cloud9, years ago, and really successful together. 213 games played, 122 now for the other side, Masu and Busio. And you can see both of them
Okay.
reached a number of finals
Can
already.
Inspired take
Masu
a
and
grub?
Busio coming into the scene and having success
Again,
already.
man, this is another instance of like Cloud9 on the objective first.
In danger though as he gets hand shook forward. Blabber tries to finish off the kill. Cataclysm's right back onto quad.
What?
Staying safe enough for now, still with control over the grub pit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to rewind this. How the hell do we just swap
Coming into
places?
the scene and having success already as FlyQuest is looking for a fight.
Okay, FlyQuest, Busio. in
Busio
danger,
flies up.
gets hand shook
Inspired's
forward.
just
Blabber tries to
in.
finish off the
Masu's
kill.
collapsing
Cataclysm's right
down.
back. FlyQuest, Busio in danger.
Quad
Gets
is like
hand shook
right in the
forward.
middle
Blabber
of
tries to finish off
everyone,
the kill.
man.
Cataclysm's right back
Flashes
onto
out.
quad. Danger though as he
I
gets
guess
hand shook forward.
Victor
Blabber
ult
tries
is
to
doing
finish
a
off
lot
the
of
kill.
work onto Sven
Cataclysm's
and
right back
Vulcan,
onto
so they're kind of needing to kite out of it a little bit. But man, that's a wild sequence of events to just suddenly switch positions with Cloud9, and then we end up with two.
So far, and it looks like FlyQuest is going to come out on top, Inspired with a little bit more damage.
I don't know.
Third, he'll get it.
Again, I don't know if that's legal. There's no way Cloud9 should be letting this happen.
Okay, FlyQuest.
Sven is 6.
Danger, though, as he gets hand
Vulcan's
shook
not.
forward. Blabber tries to finish off the kill. Cataclysm's right back onto quad.
Maybe that's part of it, is
FlyQuest
Vulcan's not
gets
6
safe
yet.
enough for now. Forward, Blabber tries to finish off the kill. Cataclysm's right back onto quad. FlyQuest staying safe enough for now, still with control. Tries to finish
I
off
think
the kill.
Vulcan could have done a
Cataclysm's right back onto
li-
quad.
yeah.
FlyQuest, though, as he gets hand shook forward. Blabber tries to finish off the kill. Cataclysm's right
Blabber
back
just
onto
gets
quad.
absolutely chunked, too.
FlyQuest staying safe
That's
enough for now,
good
still
on
with
Masu
control of the
ghosting
grub
in there to
pit.
get that
As
damage in.
C9 with their jungler so close to death's door, have to back
All
away.
right,
It's
well.
1 grub to 1 so far, and it looks like FlyQuest is going to come out on top. Inspired with a little bit more damage to secure the third. He'll get
Good
it.
job, boys.
As
We'll
C9
take it.
try to reapproach, but the objective is already gone.
A bit of a concern for Whippo is he has really been roaming heavily to try to answer the team. He moved from bot to try to come up and help. He got pushed off of multiple waves. He's down 20 CS.
Oh,
Said I'd plan a
man.
Paris honeymoon. I've never even been to Europe.
AI that with Copilot.
And Thanatos has taken some plates and has, a good half level of experience advantage as well. So, Whippo needs to make sure, yes, it's important
So
to help your
Whippo
team,
is
but at the
not
same
doing
time,
so
he's gotta
hot.
Stay relevant in that 1v1. And Cassante can be a problem if he gets too far ahead.
Yeah, Whippo here, trying to neutralize, going to neutralize mode here. He's got Phase Rush Gragas, so focusing now on the minion waves. Let's see as far as this next move from Blabber. He's got his red quadrant to go to. Afterwards, though, like my sights are completely on this Victor with no flash. When Quad has no flash, Quad should be
Going
a target
AP
early on.
Gragas.
Inspired, though, he's going to try and help out in that by going to seek out Blabber. This is one thing as a jungler.
AP Greg.
He still gets the smite. Nice job there from
Yeah.
Blabber. Blabber actually secures his own, even with the invade. But one thing as a jungler, when you have a laner that
We
has
have
flash like
no
that,
front
oftentimes the best
line
way to keep them from getting
whatsoever.
games, not even like match 2v2, go seek out the enemy jungler in their
Your
jungle
main-
to get vision on them and to keep your pressure on.
Kind of a random fun fact that the production just hit me with. Last time that we actually had Kha'Zix and Elise in the same game, together as a duo.
Watching this live AP Gragas
in NA, and that is a long time ago, and it's only the 12th all-time in the region as well. So
I don't know how I feel about this AP Gragas. So, okay, let's
champions have not been seen in over
let's theorize this a little bit,
in
okay?
North America.
Your comp
So you
is Caitlyn,
was it together on the same
who
team or
On the same team. I
is
believe.
not very burst heavy. Well, it can be burst heavy, right? If you get like on a single target, you get your Q off, you get a net on them, you get a trap on them. Like, if you get the setup, yeah, you can burst someone down, but you're not, even then, the high level of deep, it's not a super bursty champion. It can be. There's instances where it can be, but in general, it's not, right?
All right, let's see what we've got here.
And then in general, Victor is another scaling mage who can poke you down, will zone you out, but it doesn't really have a lot of like fast kill time ratios, right? Like you're not dying very fast. So you have two champions whose like time to kill time frames are on the slower lower end,
Elise
right?
advantage has not really extended whatsoever.
Um,
We're in some trouble.
Then you have Kha'Zix, which the time to kill range on that is actually very fast, but it's under very niche and specific circumstances, right?
C9, excuse me, as they're also going to secure
But you,
that Scuttlecraft.
and then you also have the Elise, who in the very beginning has a lot of damage, has a very fast time to kill ratio in the very beginning of the game, early game. So you already have like 4 DPS, right?
They're not going to contest for this objective. They know that C9's there first, and C9 take the drink.
This time, though, it is actually Thanatos.
Do you need a 5th
Bwipo stays
damage
by his
dealer?
lonesome at the tower. So Bwipo here does catch up individually, and he is now ahead in goal. Look at that.
Trying to.
Yeah, he's farming plates. He's gonna profit top lane.
I think between the 4 DP.
It is 2 dragons now, 2 Cloud9s. And we haven't seen this.
I'm trying to figure out a reason to justify this.
Much, even with these early kills from Busio, has not been able to kind of find any action after that. And if I'm playing, you know, Vulcan side of this matchup, every minute that passes,
I mean, if you're
without
going
Elise
for
doing
pick
something
potential.
is a minute that I am very, very happy about. Elise in a 5v5 is just so hard to pilot. It's really tough when Cassante is there and Jarvan is there.
Man, it's just such a weird comp, man. I just don't know.
Exactly. That's why right now he's roaming around into the jungle. He's trying to find those
I'm gonna lean on the side of this probably should have been a tank Gragas. I really feel like this should still be a tank Gragas.
The last Elise in Kha'Zix was
we'll ask Meteos. We're doing the dive after this.
Perfect.
Yeah, hit him up.
He is.
I'm really
I
curious.
feel like a Frozen Heart Gragas here.
Will he actually be able to find one of these burst
Actually, hold on. I'm probably talking out of my ass. Is Frozen Heart even an item in this game still? I haven't seen it in a hot minute. But theoretically, Frozen Heart's still in the game. I feel like a Frozen Heart Gragas here is just absolutely nasty for Sven to deal with. Especially with how annoying Bwipo can be in zoning potential. So, yeah. The endgame situations are very interesting. The Kha'Zix with W Evolve ends up being a significant poke. W Evolve, okay, that's actually a good point. The W Evolve is very, very good poke and kind of leans itself into the Victor Caitlyn angle of like zoning people out as needed.
2-0 lead on those. We're going to get any big fights anytime soon. 45 seconds till the Herald. I would expect some kind of a
first turret to Bwipo.
It's no longer a factor. We'll be able to easily secure first turret for the side.
That's a nice little bit of gold. He has 500 plate gold, 250 difference from Thanatos. That's not bad. Makes a nice little difference. Oh, he's actually up in gold over Thanatos now. That's very nice. Oh boy, there it is. That's the exact combo, baby. Inspired Elise is just, or inspired Kha'Zix and Busio. Oh, Jesus. But that's also kind of what I was expecting to happen too. Holy shit. Hey, boys. You know the comp's squishy, right? Okay, let's rewatch that again a little bit. I was distracted a little bit. Okay, hold on. So we get the turret.
Now Blabber is waiting around in this pixel brush, but if he face checks Bwipo, he doesn't know that FlyQuest has extra firepower nearby. They saw Inspired out of the fog there for a second, but Sven walks a little bit too close.
That's such a nasty kill. Okay. At this point, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Do you run? You have teleport coming here. You got Blabber here. You have Vulcan here. You can't really run up. You're going to get flanked by the TP from Thanatos. You try and run in here, which is what they try and do, and then they just get absolutely blasted by Blabber, who's got an item on him. Oh, it's another teleport here. You're just screwed. Is this even... Okay.
But if he face checks Bwipo, he doesn't know that FlyQuest has extra firepower nearby. They saw Inspired out of the fog.
Honestly, I mean, Cloud9 was already in the process of flanking. I think it's just good that you can get the kill on Sven here.
And there's no way out for the Kalista. Now FlyQuest is still ready to keep fighting as Blabber goes in for the Cataclysm. Inspired trying to get away. A beautiful hostile.
Good God.
And that sets it up perfect. FlyQuest are going to lose 3.
That's just disgusting. Look at them deleted.
And there's no way out for the Kalista. Now FlyQuest is still ready to keep fighting as Blabber goes in for the Cataclysm. Inspired trying to get
And it's a nasty ult from Vulcan too.
And that sets it up perfect.
Is there anything like Masu even does here? 1, 2, 3 autos. Okay, well.
And Vulcan just hit the perfect Renata ult. The bugs attack. FlyQuest are going to go over the top.
Wait, blue team. What? What? Hold on. 3-1. Tower. Two. 2-1. Grubs. Oh, you guys are literally talking about it in chat. Hold on. FlyQuest got 3 kills first, but watch who gets the feats of warfare. So far, Vangel said he could not replicate the bug. That was Vulcan's best art. Okay. But wait. Yeah. What?
There's no way out for the Callista. Now FlyQuest is still ready to keep fighting as Blabber goes in for the Cataclysm. Inspire trying to get away. A beautiful hostile takeover over the top. And that's set.
Third bug has entered the game.
Are gonna lose 3. A triple kill.
Wait. Hold on. Blue team has claimed the feats of warfare. Why did it not? Because when was the third kill? It was on Sven. It's on Sven. Third kill, right there. Why is it not right there? Because the other feat of warfare would be the objectives, right? Which case, I mean, Cloud9 has 2, and they have 3, but you need to I think, if I recall correctly, you need to have 4 of the grubs for it to count as the objective. So, 2-1, you don't have, or no, Yeah. Because neither of us have the objectives qualified for it. So it should just be the 3, what? Okay.
And that sets it up perfect. FlyQuest are gonna lose 3.
There's only 3 grubs now, so as long as you get 2 grubs, you get defeat progress. Oh, there's only 3 grubs? Dude, this goes to show how little I check, like, updates to the game nowadays. But there's only 3 grubs now, so as long as you get 2 of the grubs, you still get defeat progress. So, okay, then maybe educate me here a little bit. So, Cloud9 has 2 Drakes. They had 2 grubs. So, theoretically, that's 3 objectives. Do you need 4 objectives to get the feat? Oh, we have the 2. Oh, duh. Yes. Sorry, we have the 2 grubs. You're correct. Okay. Either way, that's still... Yeah, in that case, okay, so they didn't have it either way. Yeah, okay, that's a weird bug, man. That's a weird bug. Okay, I gotta get this moving.
Attack first, but Vulcan squishes both of them with 1 button, and that's gonna be the rift out here for Cloud9.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get this, and Loki getting all 3 kills is really tough. This way is going to be a problem.
I'm going to assume
FlyQuest, it started out so
there's going to be a pause at some point.
So tough to deal with. We've talked about it a lot throughout this cast. There it is. Perfect example.
And as you say, it's very important that a lot of this kill money...
Or does just no one ever recognize that the feats of warfare went to Cloud9?
And actually has the ability to deal with that siege. But here we go. That was the Bugs attack. Nice job there. They use their invisibility and they jump through. But here it is. Blabber actually forces both of them out to try and escape on that side.
No pause for the bug. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's game 5. I'm sure the guys are sweat. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Busio. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, these kind of, like, alley fights in the jungle are exactly what Quad and Masu want to be doing, but neither of them are, like, really... I mean, Masu was there, but, like... It's not where you want to be as Inspired and Busio when everyone's all grouped up, man. It's so hard to assassinate someone.
In this, and they're stacking dragons once again, so they do have another out here later on. It's only 1 minute until that next dragon, and if they're the ones that have prio there first, then they don't have to worry about what we were talking about earlier with all the Caitlyn traps being set up and Elise having brush control and Kha'Zix lurking around without vision. So the setup preemptively towards this objective is going to mean a big difference in the ability to actually take the fight.
It absolutely will. I mean, we talked about all the power that FlyQuest have if their first is set up, but C9 have a lot of power as well. The zone control with Hwei, trying to walk in through that. And if you're trying to walk through Thanatos as these squishy assassins here, the Elise and the Kazakhs, it is going to be nearly impossible to do that. And the job is going to get harder for FlyQuest as time continues. Of course, they do still have always the playmaking, the potential to find that perfect Gragas.
There we go. This is kind of what I was wanting to see. Stuff like this. You basically got a second jungler at this point.
The pick on the Loki, the shutdown on the 3-0 way there. Big for FlyQuest, but C9 is
Busio's KD does not look good. And I think the third death was probably not the best. But I think in general, Busio's been having a really good Elise game so far. I think he's been finding really, really good picks so far.
The bottom side river has inspired, goes back towards Busio, towards Bwipo, who's still putting in the damage on the tier 1 in the bottom lane. Bwipo will claim that structure, and now C9 is starting up the Drake, but they've only got 4 men alive. Loki does not have teleport when he respawns to try to participate.
Boss is just pumping away on Thanatos. He's tickling him. He's tickling him. Inspired can't even get in. Everyone's grouped up.
The side of C9, they will secure it, but what about the rest of the fight? Inspired gets away, but Quad's got the kill on the Vulcan. Blabber
Oh,
goes
man.
on the wall and takes Inspired out. Blabber now
Okay, okay, okay.
in the hole guarantees he's not
Oh,
explosive cast to stop the escape.
Oh.
Cassante and Kalista might be tough, but it's hard to get away from one of these. A perfect all-out
Wow.
from Thanatos to make sure that he takes Quad with them. It's a bloodbath in the
Dude,
bottom
okay.
part of the map as C9 reach soul point.
Let me watch this one more time and I'll get my thoughts on that fight.
He's rejoining, but remember,
Quad's
Bwipo
poking,
had
Masu's
he couldn't
pumping
actually
away into
base the save
Thanatos.
He killed the tower. He
Busio's
joined up,
looking
and
for,
Dawn's down on Thanatos, but Inspired is by himself and
Cocoon.
can't really find a way in here.
Bwipo's trying to get in. He can't really find a way either.
But when that turn comes,
Yeah, it's just so hard. Like, if you're not on the objective first, it's impossible for Fly to play. Fly plays it amazingly here by, like, hunting down Cloud9 afterwards as they're kind of trying to move around and get their way out. Which I guess if that's how you want to play the game, that's fine, but it's also risky because you're, like, giving up the objectives and stuff. What a beautiful flank, though. And, like, in the cast. Gorgeous from Bwipo. Beautiful. But yeah, what this comp gives me the vibes of is...
He's able to hit Quad, knock him in towards the wall, and still trade another kill for
Oh, or you know what? It's not even, yeah, it's still a comp, but like what this reminds me of is a lot of like sports players and like just esports players in general, right? Is like you have like set comps, set plays, set like ideas in mind. Like for instance, as a tennis player, when I was playing varsity tennis back in, oh my god, we're fighting again. Hold on, I need the context on this. Oh, we're just coming out of the replay into a fight?
Yeah, go in there. We killed them all.
How did we get here?
We're into another fight.
Okay.
Takes Bwipo down straight out of the
Oh my god, what a collapse.
Blabber is also dead. Sven the next to die. FlyQuest hitting back hard as Thanatos is
What a collapse, man.
arms of the FlyQuest squad. The blast cone takes him low.
Nice block from Loki.
Critically blocked there by Loki as Blabber is
Good
dead.
lord, no objectives up. Oh, Otacon's up. Okay, so we take Otacon here in a second, I imagine. Anyway, while we're taking Otacon, because I imagine Cloud9's going to be able to fight for it. But like, for instance, in tennis, when I was playing varsity tennis all the time, in singles, what I noticed at my level of varsity tennis, like, which is very still not good, right? It's high school. But at that level, like, generally most kids know how to do topspin, backspin, like drop shots to a certain extent. But what would throw a lot of people off at that level is that people would start expecting, like, hey, I expect to see spin on the ball, whether it be backspin or topspin. Like, you know where the ball is going to bounce, and you know where to place your racket to get the ball back. And for a little bit of time, I got very annoying to play against because I would hit the ball back flat. I would purposely not put spin on the ball just to throw off the opponent player. It's usually, like, considered a bad stroke because it's not going to have a lot of power, and it's not going to have a lot of distance on it, and it's very risky to sending the ball out of the court. But a lot of the times, because the opponent's not expecting it, they full-on swing with topspin into it, and because there's no spin on the ball going into the racket, it's just a flat ball, they send it far further than they mean to, and then ends up being out. My point behind this analogy is this is kind of what this comp feels like to me, and for FlyQuest, is that Cloud9 is like, there's no set plays with this, there's no expectations with this. there's nothing to prep for or expect. It's just like, man, boom, we're firing on all cylinders, and you're like, I don't know how to plan, I don't know how to prep, I don't know what to expect, and you're just like, I don't know what to do. Even though you know it's like, you're playing kind of solo queue-esque and just kind of going for picks and fights, and it should be very easily handleable. You're losing. It's kind of stuff like this. It's just, this is the beauty of Fearless, man. You can put together comps like this, and teams just don't know what to do because they're not prepped and ready for it. So it's kind of beauty in its own art. Yeah. I still don't know how I feel about AP Gragas though. It's like, I think you'd still be doing okay if this was just normal tank Gragas.
Which is why, and Jim said, like, we're kind of looking at some siege possibilities for.
All right, let's take stock real quick. All right, we're 21 minutes in. Cloud9's got 3 Drakes, so we're on soul point. There's none for us. We had 2 of the 3 grubs. We do have Otacon. We're 2,000 gold up, 2 towers to 1.
So Cloud9 defending it. Here. Just trying to keep an
we're starting to get a little, like, I think Busio's been getting just enough gold intake that it's still okay, but I'm beginning to wonder if he's starting to fall a little bit behind in terms of power scaling. Masu's been doing pretty good. He's got 2 items. He really needs to find a way to get onto Loki, Sven, or Vulcan, though. I think if he's just firing away into Blabber and Thanatos, it's not doing all that much. Alright, we're prepping for Drake. We're kind of on site. This is what I wanted, but even then, I think our setup's not good. Masu's dropping traps on the tri-brush on the down bot side, so if they want to try and fish themselves down towards the bot side and go for the flank, it's a little bit hard for them to do. But I would say it's really just a north to south setup at this point in time, which means the setup's not that good for FlyQuest. Thanatos brushes himself in. I would say at this point the fight should be advantageous for Cloud9 because they're all bulked up. It's very hard for FlyQuest to play. Vulcan flashes in. Oh my god, what a pick on the Bwipo. Nasty, nasty pick from Vulcan. Very, very nice. FlyQuest takes the opportunity to get on the Drake. Has to dodge out. Oh, he gets the Drake? How? Oh my god, that's just pure... That's stupid. That's so stupid. There's no way. What is the damage on this? 18... I saw 460. That was the last thing I saw. What?
Oh my god, barely in range there. He got the smite off as he jumped away, and the W. I'm not sure.
He got it off with Masu's Q. Hold on, let me look at it one more time then. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Stupid dumb that they got, like, well played, because it's clearly timed with Masu's Q, but stupid dumb. Cloud9 did everything in that fight right, man. Practically everything in that fight right, and they come away with a lost dragon. Very nice pick on the Bwipo here. FlyQuest does good by, like, taking the ground onto the Drake and, like, setting up, like, hey, even, like, Masu's putting down the traps, right? It's good.
He jumps out. He turns around.
Wow, man.
And he smites it. 400 HP.
Wow. FlyQuest does it right by, like, asserting the ground because, like, Cloud9 has to give it up to go onto the Bwipo, which is good. But even then, this comp to me, it was really meant to be like, hey, we take the objective and we hold it, and then you have to come into us. That's kind of what I was expecting it to be. And then, like, use Bwipo as, like, a distracting figure for Busio and Inspire to go ham in the backlines. That's not really happened this game so much. It's been really just, like, kind of picks off on the side.
For Bjergsen, only time we had an MVP also win the finals, then win the finals MVP. And I think Inspired, if they were to win, would definitely be in the running.
Okay. Another ad.
Almost done.
Crazy, though. Actually, just insanity. Come on. There's no way Nintendo Switch 2 is properly running Cyberpunk. Okay. So let's take stock again, right? 1 Drake to 3 this time. Yeah, hashtag sponsored, baby. Adidas and Nintendo Switch 2. They're paying me big bucks.
Now Baron is going to be on the map here in just a few seconds.
As Flower says, Baron's coming up. Again, I really want to emphasize, I want FlyQuest to try and be taking, like, the ground around the objective first. Cloud9's doing a very, very good job of making sure that's not happening. It's not allowed. They've got the
with the pedal.
Scuttle
Not only
Crab.
is it burst
Oh,
damage
they're
for
just
the
gonna start it.
champions, But look at these
They're on
levels.
Baron.
I think this. I personally, I think this is the correct call from Cloud9. You start this stuff and you make Fly come into you, and it's super hard for him to actually do anything. I mean, unless you let Bwipo just get an easy flank around the backside. Collapsing onto Bwipo. They all get out. Okay.
But what about the rest of the fight? Health bars on C9 are injured, but FlyQuest are in a 4v5.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, they're going to be able to turn their sights towards this top tower as Ven pushes the wave. That thing's going to drop. FlyQuest don't really have a response.
Cloud9's generally happy with that. They get a tower out of it. They get a pick out of it. And they're like, all right, cool. And here's the thing. You back, you reset. You get pink wards, you get sweepers up, and you go again. Fly's going to take mid tower here. That's fine. That's good. More gold. But, like, there's nothing stopping from Cloud9 here just going right back up top side into the river, retaking all the wards and all the vision.
And Bwipo, so that it's 2 for 1 you're trading there, and you don't get that kill. And it's going to mean Sven is that much safer in the next fight, because now those primary people on FlyQuest side that can threaten him, they don't have
the mid turret is big, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Cloud9 can rinse and repeat. You go onto the objective and like it's once again, and this time Bwipo doesn't have flash, you just demand FlyQuest come into you, and I think it's so hard for FlyQuest to play.
With Vulcan behind them protecting the team.
There is one other player who can make a snap flash play on this team for FlyQuest, and it is Busio. This Elise that is so squishy.
That was scary.
That was close.
Yeah, it's so risky for Inspired to check these brushes. If he gets caught out, if there's CC waiting on him, that causes. I mean, look at the inventory. It's all damage. The tunneler, the only thing with any defensive problems in his inventory.
Okay, like top side's getting shoved, but that's fine.
Look what Bwipo has. He went
I'm actually kind of surprised that Cloud9.
He's probably gonna get like a Ludens or a Death Cap or something.
Like, am I wrong here in saying that I feel like if I'm Cloud9 here, I want to just rinse and repeat that fight. I want to just start up Baron, and I'm making Fly come to me.
Or you are useless.
Exactly.
Like, top and jungle both don't have flash anymore. I know Sven gave up his flash, but
something pretty big though.
I feel like it's so hard. Like your only worry is Busio, who, don't get me wrong, he hurts, but I don't think he's one-shotting you.
It really can change the math in these fights. You know, eat a handshake, eat a hostile takeover. It can be critical as long as it doesn't get poked off.
Okay, back to contesting for the mid lane wave. It is 20 seconds until the Drake spawns again. Inspired barely secured it last time around to guarantee that C9 did not take possession of the Chemtech.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, even Vulcan still has the Renata ult up at this point, which is great peel for Cloud9. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of like took a little bit, but we got there.
And now C9 is just going to start up the Baron yet again. The DPS isn't particularly fast, but they've got.
And here's the other thing: you have Kalista too, so you should theoretically have double like the objective securing like potential here too. So if you want to like try and just like burn it down and take the whole thing, like you can do that too. You have options here as Cloud9. What do you? Yep. Look at Inspired is having to go all the way around. Like it's so easy for Cloud. Okay, you get Blabber. How did Blabber die? Hold on, real quick. Is he just getting just chunked by like Bwipo and the Baron? Oh, and quad ult. Okay. Okay, you got one pick. Does Cloud9 just get out here? If Cloud9 gets out of here with just one death, then you're happy with it. Yeah, man. Like, I sacrificed Blabber for 4 Barons. Like, hell yeah.
And might be in trade for that dragon. FlyQuest heading over to
okay, so Cloud9 obviously has to give up the Drake though in this particular instance, which I mean, again, you're still on Soul Point, not the end of the world.
We will just take this Baron for the 1 kill and
watching C9 all avoid their own way here. Okay, hold on, I want to see this real quick.
Blabber is already down, and
That's so funny. Holy shit. That's so funny. Oh my. What was that, Loki? That's so funny, Lee. What a spot. Okay. That's so funny. Okay, let's take another stock, right? We're now 2 Drakes up. We prevented another soul over to Cloud9, which is good. The bad news is you gave her Baron for it, and I'm expecting Cloud9 to just suddenly start pushing in all the lanes, and they're going to start getting a whole bunch of gold because they only have 2 towers taken so far. So they're going to have an influx of wallets coming in. And then I still don't know what is going to stop them because they're going to have lanes shoved in. It's going to be easier for them to have a setup on objectives, so they're going to be on objectives first, which means they get to, once again, rinse and repeat of making FlyQuest come onto them at the objective.
C9 now with the Baron for the next minute and a
Like,
half.
this is such a good position for Cloud9. So, again, knowing the results of this game, I'm very curious to see what happens here. Ooh, a massive pick on the Thanatos would be a nice little delay on things.
Ambush. He wanted to go all out on Moss.
Ooh, he still almost got Masu. Oh, does he live? Does he live? No way he lives. He lives. Oh, and Whippo dies. Oh, that's so bad. I respect the attempt. What were the who were the 3 people there? Let me see. Is it 4? The initial 3, so Quad, Masu, and Busio. Inspired comes in afterwards. Thanatos goes into the wave, so Inspired's not getting isolated Qs here. Blabber's sticking on him, can't get the isolated Q there. Wow.
You try and pick Cassante, Cassante picks you. They get the kill. He's alive, and now Cloud9.
Like I said, low time to kill champions, man.
Towers off the map.
Oh, hey guys, more ad money. Don't mind me.
With the Chase mobile app, things move a little more.
Hashtag sponsored.
Flashing, so we couldn't take him over the wall. He was stuck in the middle of the team. It didn't matter. They didn't have the damage to get him. Blabber did flash in to try to get a rage of Masu for a Cataclysm. Couldn't get it. So that is another flash gone for C9. But they are really picking up a lot of gold.
All right.
It was 300.
Turret number 5.
They got from the Baron. Now it is going to be up to 3K. Very
Nice
shortly
3K
here.
gold swing right here for
FlyQuest
Cloud9.
Just trying to wait for Whippo to respawn.
So I think you go back, you reset, you stock your wallets up a little bit, and I mean, Baron should be running out here in about 45 seconds, I imagine. So by the time they're out on the map, it's pretty much done and over with. So at this point, I think Cloud9's objective is you go for solo at this point, right? You take Soul, and then you can just team fight at any point in time. I know it's like the weakest Dragon Soul in general, but like, you should be fine, right?
The super fruit there do mean he can survive, and the other tail is the other top laner that was coming up through the jungle.
Full AP Gragas, not as squishy, it turns out.
He looks big.
Oh, he actually changed it to he changed his Zonias to a death cap. So
He changed his Zonias to a death cap?
He is on death cap.
What?
Level 16 has his flash, so there will be
Why?
before potential 100-0 play. He's saying, you know what? Whether I have Zonias or not, it's not going to change anything. I'm going to get 1 spell rotation out. We're going to win the fight or we're going to lose the fight just like that. He's putting all his eggs in that one basket, and I think it makes sense based on the compositions.
We'll see if Whippo can.
I mean, you've already committed at this point, right?
Because so far in this game, it's been close, but not close enough when we think back to the attempted play.
Okay, you know what? I agree with what Azael's saying, because at this point, you've already committed to the AP build.
But all it takes is one when you've got that
C9-1.
You know what? Whether I have Zonias or not, it's not going to change anything. I'm going to get
Hello?
more potential 100-0 play. He's saying, you know what? Whether I have Zonias or not, it's not going to change anything. I'm going to get 1 spell rotation out. We're going to win the fight or we're going to lose the fight just like that.
Graphics team's going off on this finals, so let me tell you.
And I think it makes sense based on the compositions.
Okay, anyway. I actually kind of agree with Azael in the sense because he's already AP at this point. Yeah, just go for the nuke at this point. I don't think Zonias does much for you here. I still think it should have been Tank.
Pick anybody else.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Pick anybody else. They should definitely, you know.
They won a match at MSI that resulted in one of the worst EU beatdowns of all time. Does that count, FlyQuest? They did win that one match to lose in one of the worst EU matches of all time.
They believe in their ability to make
First place at doing that.
happen, but it's C9 now with the gold lead, with Soul Point. Both these teams, of course, at match point. We are in Game 5. Only one can hoist the LTA North Trophy. Only one can go to Vancouver here to to play at
I will say, yeah, saying the fact that only one team's going, it just sucks, man. I did watch a little bit of the Furia Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming had a massive mental collapse, and I don't know how I feel about Furia going over Pain. But even then, if Pain went, yeah. I'll be curious. I think the Gam versus Pain matchup will be fun, because I don't think Gam's going to win their matchup either. But it should be a fun matchup. I think Gam should take it, though. Alright, I'd be curious to see what Rice thinks. Yeah, I know Rice used to watch a fair amount of the... Well, I guess it's LCP now, but I mean, Vietnamese teams, right?
So things are going to be really tough for FlyQuest. It feels like the engage has to be picture perfect, or it's going to fall flat on its face.
Okay, I know I've done a lot of talking about what Cloud9 needs to do. What does FlyQuest need to do here, right? So you have this massive pick comp with a little bit of zone potential. So, looking for Masu, dodges everything, it's all good. Pick on the Blabber. Exactly what needs to happen. That's exactly what needs to happen. With 20 seconds before Baron 2. Can you get anything else? Masu is pumping, he's pumping, he's pumping, he's hitting, he finally manages to get the kill on the Thanatos. They got a 3v5. You go to Baron right now, and then you shove everything out. Oh, but this is awkward because then you're... Okay, you go for the... Do you take the trade? Do you give up the soul?
Okay,
I guess you take the... I think... Baron is temporary, baby.
FlyQuest are going straight in for the Drake. Blabber is dead for the next 20 seconds still.
Okay.
Drake will be
Do you have time to take Baron here too?
For FlyQuest. Baron's 3-3 on Drakes, and FlyQuest
Thanatos has TP, but it's still 25 seconds.
Arrives, he will be able to teleport there.
Loki's going to try to delay.
There's a super blast cone.
What do we have?
FlyQuest going forward.
They're not going for it. Cloud9 backs off. They just hand over both objectives. Wow, man. That was like, honestly, the one thing Cloud9 did not need to do. Why did you want to go for a pick? Why did you want to go for a pick? You had the game in the palm of your hands, man. You had lanes shoved out. You have a comp that cannot be fought into. You just sit on objectives. You make FlyQuest come... Dude, what the fuck, Cloud9? I was sitting here having to theorize what FlyQuest needed to do to get into a decent position, and this is literally, like, one of the few scenarios that it happens is Cloud9 misplaying. Like, going for a pick when they don't need to go for a pick. Why are you going for a pick here, Blabber? You don't need to go for a pick. Just sit on the objective. Make FlyQuest fight you. Well played to FlyQuest. You played the fight well. You kited well, and you got the victory off of it. But good lord, man. Cloud9 had no business losing from the standpoint of where they were in the game. And here's the thing. This game is still dead even. This is still absolutely winnable for Cloud9. I still think Cloud9 is in a better position than FlyQuest. So, you have 3.5 minutes until the next objective. I think what you do is... You probably honestly just group up. You could probably... Well, I guess you can't really group up at this point. You have to deal with the siege of FlyQuest. Manage the siege of FlyQuest. And then, eventually, as time whittles down, you set up on Drake.
Gentlemen, it is not synced up with the Baron
because
this time around.
I really emphasize, I think you want to take Drake. You hand over a Baron again to FlyQuest. And yeah, it's frustrating, but like they still are going to struggle to end an actual 5v5 team fight.
In the favor of FlyQuest right now. Inspired is top lane, pushing that in. Mid lane is being escorted in here by Blippo, and the team is going to move towards top to try to take that last tier 2 outer. And that's worth a lot of gold.
Blabber with his Guardian Angel going to step up there next to Thanatos, but continue his journey towards the top lane as FlyQuest, with their 4-man squad, look to put the pressure onto the tier 2. Inspired just poking them with those rockets, those spike rounds.
Okay, turret.
Masu takes one shot, but it doesn't matter. He'll clear out the tier 2 turret. FlyQuest will claim that one, now turn their attention back elsewhere.
Again, the siege for this comp is so good with all of the range tools that FlyQuest have to them, and Cloud9, it's all about the burst.
Fly really needs to take even more here. They really need to break in the base. That's like their one... I think that's like the one way to get out of this. They get in the base, they get some inhibitors, so that way they have constantly shoving lanes. And you make Cloud9 have to respond to those shoving lanes into their own base. And then that way you can have, like, lopsided team fights, possibly. That's what needs to happen. Unfortunately, you're not breaking into the base. You're getting all the outers, which, I mean, that's a lot of gold increase, but you're 38 minutes in the game. The gold doesn't even really matter. I mean, it matters, but it matters less at this point. Like, you really, like, you have to break into the base. And I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, triple tier 2, if they can get it, looks like they will base before they actually get that bot lane one. But this is a lot of gold.
I feel like Cloud9 has to massively mess up somewhere here. That's how FlyQuest ends up pulling this off.
You can actually position more aggressively, be able to eat that. And
Baron is now off. You have a minute and a half till Drake. Cloud9 needs to shove out here, and they need to get vision onto the Drake, and they need to they need to own the objective. If you hand over another Baron, which, I mean, it's still another 2, hey, ad time. Cloud9 still has like another minute and a half after the Drake spawns before Baron even spawns, so you're not even worried about splitting objectives at this point. FlyQuest also, in my opinion, really needs to be shoved out and get like, both teams should actually be absolutely fighting over getting vision on the Drake. We got a vision ward from FlyQuest. I think that's a ward. Yeah, see, we're getting good river control. This is great from FlyQuest. Exactly what needs to be done. Because then Victor and Caitlyn are absolutely frustrating to deal with. Very good. Like, Cloud9 messed up here. They should have been the first ones on this Drake, man. This is like your win condition at this point.
To lucky number 7. Blabber's gonna go ahead and drop a quick smite onto the Scuttle Crab in the top side of the river, but he will have the cooldown back and ready to smite fight for the Drake right after. A standoff in mid lane is gonna favor the range of FlyQuest's AD carry as the Cupcake.
There's no world where FlyQuest wins a team fight here. I always said a straight 5-5.
Third of his HP to the poke from Masu.
As we crest almost 40 minutes here, Bwipo and Masu both playing Gathering Storm.
Nice little cheeky steal from Claude there on the chickens. Not that it matters.
This late in.
Okay,
see, if we can get some decent poke down, that's good. Okay, we're on the Drake. Good. That was a ult, Bwipo. Why? Oh no, that's so bad. Okay, Caitlyn traps. Good. You got the setup a little bit. Bwipo's still from behind. Bwipo's still from behind. Ooh, good try, Inspired. Blabber. Okay. Straight 5v5 fight. Nice from Bwipo. Traded junglers. Okay. Bwipo's gonna die. Oh, Thanatos is dead. Okay. Dude, wow.
There's no smite on the map, but Cloud9 just can't get in. It will be FlyQuest, Chemtech Soul.
Wow. I really did not think that we win the 5v5. And in a very technical sense, we did not win the 5v5, but just due to positioning of how the fight went, we sat on the objective. Yeah, Masu. Okay.
But Sven is ready to answer. Masu hanging on, but surely doesn't want to go any
Ooh.
closer. He also barely hobbles away.
What the hell, man? This is a game 5? How many bullets of sweat were y'all sweating? Would have been a hailstorm of sweat.
Absolutely insane scenes here, man. Just look at the engage they're going for Masu here. They forced out his flash early on. At the same time, Inspired forced a flash on Loki. Both of them go for the pressure.
That was, hold on. That was kind of a rough ult from Vulcan. Watch the ult from Vulcan here.
Insane scenes here, man. Just look at the engage they're going for Masu here. They forced out his flash early on. At the same
time, that's such a bad ult from Vulcan, man.
Blabber flashes in, but Masu, 90 caliber net, gets out of safety, has the traps to kill off the jungler as he respawns. Then Sven he's flashing aggressively. He's trying to get involved.
Okay, Cloud9 on the objective first. This is what Cloud9 needs.
Starting it up. FlyQuest need to try to get in position to shut this down. Sven is so strong with so much attack speed. He's
Ooh, Inspired.
Vulcan nearly is already dead. Inspired looking for
he lost his Edge of Night though. Oh, that's a massive ult from Bwipo. Oh, another ugly ult from Vulcan, dude. Masu's pumping, dude. I'm gonna be real honest.
FlyQuest take the Baron.
FlyQuest get the Baron. FlyQuest have 50
This game
seconds on the respawn here from Thanatos.
is on
This could
Vulcan.
be the window that they need to try
That's
to end
two
the game.
back-to-back
Let's see how aggressive
massive
they're gonna get with
ults
this.
that he missed.
FlyQuest
That's
pushing
so
down
bad.
mid lane as a four-man
Vulcan choke?
squad. We'll see how far they can go. All grouped up as 5 now. They've got the minion wave. They've got the Baron. They've got 30 seconds until the C9 top laner is
Okay, so we
back
break
on
in the
map.
base here.
The tier 3 turret will not even attempt to be defended by C9 as they know that is not the place to take a
And him
fight.
down.
Not
Good.
4v5,
All right, yeah, back
not
out.
in game
We
5.
go
They should
different
have
lane,
been too
baby,
excited.
different lane. You got
Remember
bot
the
lane
words
shoving, you
of
got top
Nuka,
lane shoving. Take your
their
pick. What you
coach
feeling?
At the end of the previous game, focus on the win. Do not get too excited. Do not siege for Nexus turrets that just respawn. Go with that Baron, with that Chemtech Soul to siege another lane.
And Masu's sitting on 3k gold. A Seeker's just got bought there by Quad. You can see the full Mercurial Scimitar finished now by Masu.
Yeah,
They had a lot of gold in pocket here. They are
I'm
getting
sorry,
ridiculously
Vulcan.
strong.
I still have a lot of
Cloud9
respect for him. He's a
still
great
gonna have
player,
that
but
pretty
man,
good on the other
I
side. But if you get
it's
that
hard to
back
say he's
back
not
fight,
choking a little
you
bit
can
right
win a
now.
fight. Loki in that last one couldn't hit the
Like
start of
those
the
are
fire.
some
The ulti whipped
3 massively
barely on
whiffed
Masu.
ults in a
Couldn't
in
hit.
a team
Thanatos
comp that
set
is
shot,
massively
he got filled up.
reliant
So
upon your
still an
ult.
opportunity to win this. Cloud9 just need to lock in.
That's
and
bad.
Try to really play to their win conditions. Tracking inspired. Don't allow him to get in the back line and create so much chaos.
There's a soul. There's also 27 flowers of extra adaptive force. There's also the 2 players running Gathering Storm for all the extra adaptive force. There's the entirety of the Rift controlled by FlyQuest. All of the intangibles are in their pockets.
Bwipo is just a
I
nuke
love
machine,
the
man.
stat
It is
power,
just.
But I love the magic. Let's see if there is any magic left in this finals.
Hey guys, you want one last Acura ad? I'm trying to pay for things at my house. I need a little extra sponsorship money.
Cracked the case.
Okay. Oh wait, that should be the last one. Sorry.
To be theirs.
Masu nearly 500 AD, and Bwipo just crested 900 AP on the Gragas.
All right, FlyQuest, they'll continue their push. They have less than 1 minute remaining on the Red Bull Baron. 50 seconds to go. They've already got the inhibitor down in mid lane. Thanatos will try to just absorb the pressure from the super minions over there. FlyQuest, you can see here, look at how close the traps are placed together by Masu. They're in that
The good news is at least this video pauses when those ads hit, unlike Twitch.
Bwipo just rocket belted the Banshees off of Loki as well, so now he's missing that tool.
Okay, Sven down to half HP.
Ooh, massive ult.
Explosive Cask nearly kills him off. It makes enough space for the
Buy
tier
space,
3
take another inhib.
bulldoze
Perfect,
here
all good.
behind. The inhibitor falls.
All right, you want to roll it
15
topside?
seconds left in the Baron. FlyQuest continues going forward. Sven still had to heal back.
Are we really gonna shove this?
FlyQuest ready to crash 2 waves of minions into the Nexus turrets, but again, being
I mean,
careful,
it's
being
two
mindful,
two
not to
waves.
overextend. The pressure continues as the Baron Enchanted Siege minions continue living up to their name. The Nexus turrets down to about half HP, inspired.
Am I being too conservative when I say I wish we just take the third top lane and hib?
Masu with a couple of shots onto the Nexus turret number 1. Should be able to take it down. Can't quite finish the job. Blabber wanted to go in and threaten him. The Hui will not lock up the enemy carry, and Masu continues spacing beautifully. Thanatos, half
I mean,
HP
we're
missing.
working it down, but like
And FlyQuest
another ult.
waiting again on more
Nice
minions.
flash from Loki though.
Nexus Task is gonna find the angle they want. Blabber tries
Oh,
to go in.
nice
He's
trap.
caught up
Flash
in
of Thanatos. Okay, okay.
Angel. Should not be
Oh, Sven!
impossible.
Vulcan! Oh! Masu's dead!
Taking away from it.
Inspired's dead!
Have shut down. C9, hold the line.
And there's an Elder
Okay,
Dragon
see,
in
but
front. So we still have
very,
time to
very
fight
nice play
here.
from Sven.
That is just 2 inhibitors
Very nice
down.
play
They're
from
gonna
Sven.
teleport to look for more kills.
They're gonna chase. Can they
Okay, but like legit, this is why I was like, why not just go topside? Why not just, like, overwhelm them?
Loki is looking for Bwipo as well. They're trying to not let them get out of
Oh,
here. That was
man.
the last possible moment they had to engage. The Nexus towers were dying, and they find the window to get Masu.
If they could have gone
Okay.
a chase here, a chase kill, the death timer would sync up really nicely. But still, the Elder
is their
Dragon.
Elder.
the Elder
Elder's
Dragon
up
is
right
going to
now.
spawn.
No
They're-
fucking shot.
They've got 1 tower left at their Nexus. Teleport comes out.
No
here for
fucking
Bwipo.
shot.
Bwipo
They're
has
pinging on the
burst
Nexus
damage.
tower. He's pinging on
He
it.
is going. They are
No,
teleporting.
no,
Teleport
this-
from
Double
FlyQuest.
send. FlyQuest is trying to get
C9 has
the
no
sneak
TP.
victory.
They have no answer.
C9 has no way.
They don't see him.
don't know what's
They
going
don't
on.
see that.
C9 doesn't know what's happening.
They're gonna get in.
FlyQuest has made their way into the base. Bwipo and Quad,
They're gonna
the
do
2 massive AP threats.
Busio, stop the backs,
is going
Busio,
to
stop the
waste
backs,
no
Busio,
time.
stop the backs.
The back door
Boosie, stop the backs.
The shutdown on Boosie.
What the fuck? That's how it is.
FlyQuest were first all season long, and from the upper bracket, they will earn themselves.
That's how that ends?
Victory in Split 2, and their place at MSI.
Double teleport backdoor. FlyQuest does it.
What an insane way to end it. We have the Winions, now we have this. That is crazy. FlyQuest finishing off one of the best finals we have had in NA history.
shit.
What a finish. What a deserved victory. What creative thinking in such
Which is crazier, the
high-pressure
backdoor
moment
or the
to be
Winions?
able to take the final game.
Wow.
I have to give it to the Winions because it is crazy that TL just let that happen.
Getting the kills.
More impressive, this for sure. This was a far more impressive way to win the championship. What an awesome way to win the championship. Winions will always be in my heart, but this is the more impressive way to do it. What an ending.
Up the trophy now. You know this man's hungry to get back.
Okay,
into the
gents,
match.
I got Sandy and Curly waiting on me. We'll be on the normal Twitch TV, twitch.tv/FlightCheck crew here momentarily. I've been keeping them waiting long enough. Sorry. I will see you overall on Twitch here momentarily. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for watching.